Hey, let's discuss some Spurs news and notes and bring in our very special guest, San Antonio Spurs Devonte Graham.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs on Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for San Antonio. Happy Monday, everybody. Glad to have y'all back. Thanks for subscribing to Locked On Spurs, wherever you get your first and only Spurs podcast, whether that's on YouTube, Ken's 5 Plus app, iTunes, Spotify. Just pick a platform. We are there. We always appreciate you subscribing every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. They help you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Hey, what are we talking about today? Well, I guess the surprise is out. Yes, Devonte Graham will be joining Locked On Spurs in just a few seconds. And that's basically what we're going to be talking about for the Spurs news. Like, why is he here? I'm going to give you a little background as to why Devonte decided to make a stop here at Locked On Spurs. And this does file under Spurs news. He is coaching at Basketball Without Borders Europe out in Spain. Now, it's Spain's first time ever hosting the event, so it's a pretty big deal. And that is why Devonte is here. So that is your Spurs news. In case you did not know, Devonte is being a coach right now at Basketball Without Borders. Now, again, for those of you who are not familiar with it, is the 21st edition of Basketball Without Borders. And like I said, first time out in Spain. Now, what is it? So basically, it brings together 60 of the top female and male players from 18 and under from across Europe to participate in skill development, clinics, athlete testing, movement efficiency, 5-on-5 games. And basically, Devonte is there to be a coach. And he's joining Colin Sexton of the Utah Jazz. And there's like WNBA players there, FIBA players there, all pitching in to help with basketball development with the young athletes. Now, Devonte is also not only just coaching, he's also doing off-the-court community events out in Spain. He talked about that. You're going to hear him talk about it in just a few minutes about what it meant to him to do the off-the-court stuff as well as the on-the-court stuff as well. And by the way, he does reveal whether or not he does see a coaching future in his future. So stay tuned to hear what he has to say about that. But look, the Spurs are very familiar with Basketball Without Borders. Some of their players have come from there. Currently, Charles Bassey, he took part of it. Mamu, he was a part of it. And just across the NBA, I mean, there's so many players that have gone through Basketball Without Borders Europe. Danilo Gallinari, Dario Saric, who else is on there? Deni Avdija from the Wizards. Well, Jonas Valanciunas, yes, he did Basketball Without Borders. In other words, this is a great pipeline for the NBA to use to develop talent. And I'll give you a little sneak peek. Devonte did say that some of the current talent right now that he's coaching, he says some of them might be NBA ready just physically. So wait to hear what he had to say about that. But basically, Basketball Without Borders Europe 2024, it's such a good thing. And like I said, it's been a pipeline for the Spurs and for the NBA, including Pau Gasol, the one-time Spur. Yeah, he took part in Basketball Without Borders. So, yeah, that's pretty much the big Spurs news right now for this episode is that Devonte Graham is coming on and he is coaching out there. It's a great interview. He talks about, as mentioned, his experience, how he almost didn't take up on the offer to coach. You'll wait to hear his explanation of why he was nearly close to declining it. And so many other good stuff. Including if he would give Gregg Popovich a run for coaching. Well, we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. So thanks for stopping by this episode of Locked On Spurs. Very special episode with Devonte Graham. That's coming up next. First, I want to talk about LinkedIn Talent Solutions. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools you need to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. Look, LinkedIn is not just another job board. LinkedIn is a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get their quality candidates within 24 hours. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and, well, may not have the time or resources to hire. LinkedIn is constantly finding ways to make the process easier. They even just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process easier and quicker. 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn Jobs for hiring, so should you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
The Jedi uses the Force. To subscribe to Locked On Spurs, pass on what you have learned.
Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. And we are now joined by San Antonio Spurs Devonte Graham from Spain. See, Devonte, I'm used to talking to you in the locker room or in the conference room at the Frost Center, not in Spain, man. How you loving your time out there in Spain?
I'm loving it, man. It's a beautiful city, and obviously the campus is unbelievable, and the competition and the kids are at a very high level.
Yeah, exactly. Now, for everybody who do not know, Devonte is a coach at Basketball Without Borders Europe. Now, this is the 21st edition of Basketball Without Borders, but the first time in Spain. So, in Malaga, Spain, I should say. Yeah. Do you feel, like they're trying to put their best foot forward, trying to provide the kids the best clinics, the best coaches? We'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. What do you think about what the setup is for the kids and the impact of basketball for them?
No, they definitely, months of planning. Obviously, to get all the coaches, assistant coaches, trainers, me and Colin, WNBA, FIBA coaches. It definitely a lot goes into it, and it came out very, very good.
Now, when you were tapped to coach at the camp, what was your first impression when you were asked to represent not only just the NBA, the Spurs, and just to bring basketball to that corner of the world?
Not gonna lie, I was a little nervous. A lot of people don't know. I kind of got a little fear of flying, which is kind of weird because I fly all the time. But I was like, 9-hour flight? I don't know. Like, I was a little skeptical about it, but obviously my mom wouldn't let me miss this opportunity. And then, I kind of was like, man, I've never been to Spain, and I definitely want to check it out. And I heard a lot of good things about it. Jeremy had went last year, so he kind of told me he had a good time. It was nice, so I was like, yeah, let's do
it. Yeah. Now, as far as the coaching aspect of that, you just started like a day or two ago. How has that been for you? Do you feel any pressure to, just be a coach at Basketball Without Borders, knowing that you got like 60 campers, something like that, like over 60 kids, participating? How do you handle that responsibility?
Just being me, being vocal. Obviously the kids are high level talent, but they're being sponges. They want to listen, they want to learn. So like when they're playing, I'm just, throwing my 2 cents out there. Really, I'm not the head coach of the team, so like I'm really just throwing out ideas and teaching them, what I know, defensive strategies, where you should be, things to do on offense, not turning the ball over, the same thing they always hear, but, coming from, an NBA player, it might hit a little different.
Oh yeah, for sure. And now, you're talking about giving them advice, the turnovers, where to be on defense, something like that. When you look at that advice that you're giving, do you remember the advice you got as a young player? I mean, what was the most impactful thing for you?
Oh, I mean, I didn't do too many camps like this one, but I did go to Steph Curry camp. And I think I learned a lot, obviously about shooting the ball and, being ready to shoot, playmaking and stuff like that. So, I mean, that goes a long way. Seeing an NBA player, somebody you want to be like, and a place you want to get to. Like I said, I think it just hits different, and you kind of listen and lock in a lot more.
Yeah. Now, when you look at Basketball Without Borders, we just mentioned it, 21 years doing this, first time in Spain, all that good stuff. But when you hear 21 years of Basketball Without Borders, it must be doing something right. I mean, it's keep on going on. What do you think is so valuable about Basketball Without Borders and why it's still here till today?
I mean, one, basketball is just obviously it's global, and I think international is just the talent is kind of taking over. These kids in Europe and all over the country are top prospects for NBA scouts. And so I think, they do a good job of branding with the NBA and FIBA and obviously people wanting to travel with them and go to these different countries and see these different kids play. So it has a lot to do with the talent and then the people who are putting it on.
Yeah, when you talk about talent, I mean, look at the names that came out of these camps. I mean, Paul Gasol came out of this camp. He did it back in his time. You're looking at some of the current players. They've, some of your colleagues, Bassi, Mamu, they all gone through this program.
Yeah.
It must, like I said, it's doing something right, to produce this type of talent, or at least help these young kids realize their dreams of coming to the NBA. But when we're talking about the European talent pool, you talked about it right now. You're talking about basketball is global, and you're seeing the rise of European talent. Nothing against American players. American players are great. I mean, from you to some of your American players on the Spurs roster, fantastic. But why do you think it's so important that the NBA reach into the European market or just outside of the United States?
I mean, they already have, but what are you asking specifically?
Yeah, but say like why do you think it's so impactful for the European talent, to get into these type of camps?
I just feel like I think I really had this conversation the other day with one of my homies. Like they're just European players are more fundamental. They learn it at an earlier age, and like you see the Lucas, you see Joker, and those guys are just so skilled. They can do everything on the court, and a lot of these players are learning that from a young age. We're as American players, we want to come in, we want to shoot from half court and shoot threes and stuff like that. So I think that kind of is a real big difference in our games.
Now, as far as coaching is concerned, we know you're doing that on the court, but off the court, you're also helping the Malaga community out off the court. What other activities, community efforts that you're doing with BWB 2024?
We actually just left the NBA Cares. Had a group about 30 kids come in and play with them, layup lines, different drills in the community out here. I forgot the name of it, honestly. What was it called? No, can you say it? The Hirola Olympics. So we had a group of kids from the Olympics, and we actually just left that camp right here.
When you see the kids see you as a pro player, what does that make you feel like? They're looking up. They're not only literally looking up to you because your height, but they're looking up to you as that. How does it feel to serve as inspiration for young kids that have hoop dreams? I talked about eBay Motors, passion, drive, and patience. The winning formula for any winning championship is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, they got it. Roof racks, they got that too. LED headlights, exhaust kits, so much more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you need and what you're looking for at eBay Motors. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, you're not burning cash. With all the parts you need and the prices that you want, it's easy to turn your car and make it the MVP and bring home huge wins. So go there right now, eBay Motors. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. That's ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers.
Oh, hey, this is Morty Smith and Cheese. You are listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia. Cheese.
It just brings joy to you. They just want to come up, high five you, give me hugs. One of them was playing with my hair, like. They just was just like idolized, so it just give you a good feeling, like just giving back, that's the person that did. When you're in this position, that's one thing you always want to do is give back and just see kids smile. So
yeah. I know you're coaching as well, but did you inject a little bit of that Coach Popovich mentality with the kids too? Trying to get them going the right way
Yeah,
on the court.
I'm coaching on the female side too, so I'm coaching females
Oh, okay, okay.
mainly, which is new for me. But I like it. They're very attentive and learn fast and real competitive, playing real physical. I definitely got on them about turnovers today. So some Coach Power definitely do.
Well, it's not like you speak from experience, right? I mean, I'm
Right.
pretty sure. It's not like it happens to you. Once again, we're joined by San Antonio Spurs Devonte Graham. He is being an assistant coach at Basketball Without Borders Europe 2024, first time in Malaga, Spain, and he's here talking about his experiences on Locked On Spurs. But Devonte, we look at coaching. Is that ever something that you were thought about doing once your playing days are over? Is that on your radar once you hang up your sneakers?
Oh, definitely. It's always in the picture. I got to figure out what level I would like to coach at, but I think that's always been something that's kind of natural for me. Being a leader, being a cultural coach, being vocal. So it kind of comes easy. So I think
Yeah.
that's obviously something I would want to do.
Yeah. Now, obviously you're currently with the San Antonio Spurs, and the Spurs have been a pipeline for a lot of international players, not just the ones you're currently playing with in the past. From Boban, I mean, remember Boban wore Spurs colors. You had other past European players. Manu is probably the biggest one. Boris Diaw. The list goes on and on. What does it mean like for you as an American player playing for a franchise that has embraced European players as much as the Spurs have?
I mean, playing for Spurs is a blessing. I played with Tony Parker when he came to Charlotte, so
Yeah.
I got a little bit of that Spurs culture as a rookie when he came there. So I mean, just being around Pop and the coaching staff, you get that feeling. You got all the foreigners, other staff, and stuff like that. So it's great.
Now, you're obviously having a great time off the court as well, exploring Malaga, getting used to Spain. Are you picking up some Spanish? Are you going to be able to come back to San Antonio? Are you going to be able to speak with me in Spanish when I run into you in the locker room? No?
Hola. Got
Can, can
that.
I, can I, going back to Basketball Without Borders, uh, what do you think it'll be the most lasting impression for you once it's over? What would you think you would take away from the experience?
Um, just interacting with different kids from different areas of the world. I've never been around nothing like this. Different language barriers and I'm trying to coach, and sometimes the girls don't understand me, so I kind of like gotta slow down and kind of like walk them through it, and they be like, okay, get it. But first coaching experience ever, so it's like figuring out your team when you first get traded or something like that. It's
Yeah.
different. So um, I'm still learning as we go. Each day is something new. So
Oh yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I'm pretty sure each day is every new. But before I let you go, because I know you got to go and run and be with the campers. But you're talking about coaching females, just globally. You're seeing the rise of female basketball, the popularity in it, from the WNBA to what you're experiencing right now. Can you touch about that and how Basketball Without Borders is helping that cause?
oh, it's huge. Obviously, you see it a lot around in the states. We support women's sports. My sister does a women's sports Wednesday. She's a journalist. She does women's sports Wednesday every Wednesday, where she come out with her different uh, stories on different women and what's going on in all different sports. So like I get to see it firsthand. But obviously, globally, these young ladies are at a high level, playing at a high level, very skilled, which a lot of people don't know because we're kind of oblivious to what's going on in different countries. So this right here puts it on notice and help them get that publicity that they should be getting.
And you're talking about you being a coach right now at the camp. That's got to help you with your leadership as well in your career. You're probably learning different ways. I mean, I know they're kids, but it could translate into helping you being as the veteran you are, wherever your NBA path takes you.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, watching some of the head coaches and how they're interacting with the kids, they've been doing it for years. So you can nitpick something from, like I said, each day, each drill, each practice that we have with the team. So just taking notes here and there in my head and trying to be better.
You gonna give Coach Pop a run when he's coaching, and you're gonna
Nah, he got it. He got it in the bag.
But anyway, before I let you go, Basketball Without Borders Europe 2024. What would be your message to those that are interested in joining in future ones? What will your message be just for Spurs fans, NBA, just basketball fans to keep up with it? Why should they keep up with it?
Because it's just the next generation of talent. And these kids are actually really, really talented at a really, really young age. Got some guys in here, they got NBA bodies already at 17. And they're still trying to figure out what to do with it and how to grow into it, obviously. But obviously, that's why a lot of scouts are here watching them, and because they just got they got high potential to do good things in the NBA, and so do the girls.
Mm-hmm. Any Spurs scouts out there?
Say it again.
Any Spurs scouts out there?
I can't drop the news on who out here, but there's a lot of scouts out there.
I tried, everybody. I tried. He is Devonte Graham with the San Antonio Spurs, coaching with Basketball Without Borders 2024 out in Malaga, Spain. Devonte, thank you for stopping by here on Locked On Spurs.
Yes, sir.